I was a high school biology teacher at Colonial High School. So throughout the pregnancy, I was working every day, coaching, sometimes teaching night classes. So I was still going pretty strong. My water broke on September 11th around 5 a.m. I drove to the hospital, but I do not remember the drive. And I just remember being excited, because the baby's coming.
She comes in and her membranes are ruptured, so we augment her contractions with Pitocin, and she's in labor for a long time and not progressing. So at that point we decided to go ahead and do a C-section.
So we brought her to the operating room, and everything was doing well. Baby was out in no time, and it was a healthy baby.
I remember laying my head next to Brenda, and we looked up in the mirror as her baby was born. Breit was laying on her stomach while they were cleaning her up, and we both looked up into the mirror and watched her baby. Brenda said to me she doesn't feel so well, and that's when I looked into Brenda's eyes and saw them roll back, and that's when I knew something was wrong.
That's when she basically coded. We pretty quickly established it was an amniotic fluid embolus, and at that point she got a full court press for blood products, which was after 2 resuscitative measures done by Dr. Tongson.
She really required a lot of blood transfusion, and we didn't have the equipment to rapidly transfuse blood in the ICU at that time. So what the nurses were doing is manually pumping blood into her.
Can you imagine Brenda completely dead? So they brought her to the ICU, nothing, no heartbeat, but they keep walking. That's what I'm talking about with the Winter Park Memorial Hospital. Even they didn't see nothing, but they keep walking, put this one, pump that, pump that, pump that. And I'm praying, and I'm calling upon him. And he came back. He came down to the hospital, but Brenda back to life.
The critical period of resuscitation, like the first 15 minutes, and only 50% of those patients survive those first 15 minutes. For her to survive without any deficits, like puts her like in less than 1% of those who survive. That's what basically her survival is like a miracle.
I'm amazed because when you go back and read about amniotic fluid embolisms, the stats are really poor as far as survivorship, and then to come back and be without any neurological damages. There's a lot of emotions that come behind it. Yes, it's such a great story. It's a miracle story, but then your life has changed completely, from being in perfect health to being on a deathbed. And, I'm just so thankful that God chose me and spared my life, and allowed me a second chance.
To go from no response and then to see her now, back to, articulate and moving around and laughing, giggling, just like, wow, So it's just an amazing experience.
So I'm so happy. I am happy to have Brenda and Breit.
To see her walk through that door and seeing her alive and fully functional without any deficit, that's gave me goosebumps. So.
The fact that she survived, she's healthy, she's happy, she's normal. I mean, that lives forever.
You try to figure out what do you do and how do you give back after being given that chance. Not everybody gets a second chance. Some people, that's it. And so I know there's a purpose for me, and just trying to figure out. And of course, part of that purpose is sharing my testimony to others and letting them know that there is a God who still brings people back from the dead.